Thanks, Susan. And it's finally upon us, this final weekend of campaigning for the candidates.
Stephen Caliendo, the Associate Professor of Political Science at North Central College, joining us again this morning. Let's talk about the final...
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
I know.
Are we there yet?
Are we?
Huh? How much longer, Dad?
Man,
Are we there?
I know. It just keeps going. It's the
Yeah,
Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
It really is. Big final weekend. What do they got to do?
Well, I mean, I think that Barack Obama's got to sort of keep steady like he's been doing. I think that infomercial that he put on the other night sort of set the tone for where he's going to go for the final few days. And the McCain campaign's got one of two choices. They can either get really nasty and try to shake something up in the last few days because all the polls indicate we're moving toward a landslide, or they can sort of try to play it cool and see how it plays out and try to save. It seems like some of the Republican strategists are trying to save some of the congressional seats.
You mentioned the infomercial. Do you think that infomercial was an effective tool the other night? First time it's been tried.
Well, I certainly don't think it hurt. I think for people that didn't know Barack Obama very well, and you'd think after 2 years, and of course us in Chicago, it's hard to believe that there's anybody left, but I think it introduced him to some folks that might not know him before. And the fact of the matter is he could. He did it because he could. He had the money to do it, and it was an unfiltered. It was this is a guy who doesn't like to be reduced to sound bites if he can help it, and so this was his opportunity to spend a whole half an hour and talk directly to the American people.
Mm-hmm.
At the outset of this campaign, there was a lot of discussion about, was Obama black enough?
Right.
Was he white enough?
Right.
And in the end, as we come into this final stretch, what role has race played, or will it play on Tuesday, do you think?
Well, we'll have to talk on Wednesday about what role it played on Tuesday, but it's played a pretty significant role, but under the surface. Barack Obama had to be very careful the whole way through the campaign not to be perceived as the black candidate. We know that historically white folks don't tend to vote for black candidates, and you need, with the electoral college system, you need some white votes, and so he was able to stay away from that. I think the opposition, not just the McCain campaign, but in the primaries and definitely the party system and the 527 groups have tried to imply that he's too black, that he's too radical, that he's too liberal. These become code words for race, and I think those things may end up showing on Election Day, but it's going to be hard to tell until we get the results.
Okay, after the election, let's say, we don't know which side's going to win, but somebody's going to have to make friends again and make nice with the other side of the aisle. How do you expect that to go?
I think that's going to be rough this time. I think it'll happen. It always happens. I mean, we've had rough elections in the past, and I think it'll happen. But I think that both candidates, they're going to have two speeches planned before Tuesday night or Wednesday morning, depending on how late it goes. And in the concession speech, there definitely has to be some nod, not just pro forma nod to say, well, this is our new president, we're all going to get behind the president, but we really have to work together because we're in a time of crisis.
Time to make nice.
Time to make nice.
Okay.
Are we there yet?
No.
Are we there?
Not
How much
yet.
longer?
Still going.
All right.
I think you really honed right in on the key issue. We're all ready.
And a week from now, it all changes. If you'd like to read more of Stephen's blog, all you got to do is head to our website, cbs2chicago.com. Just click on Morning News. Thanks for joining us, Doug.